Golovkin again throwing from all sorts
In this video,
of angles that he's invented, and finally Murray is down.
we look back at some of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history.
Hey, down goes Rodriguez. What a left hook.
Let's get straight to it.
Threw a big left hook there, Golovkin, and Murray still had his wits about him to get out of the way. Golovkin again throwing from all sorts of angles that he's invented, and finally Murray is down. Gets shakily to his feet right at the end of the round.
Are you all right? Shall I continue?
And he nods and says, yep, I'm okay, and there's the belt. But again, he's got a minute to recover.
Triple G's right hands at the end of the 10th round against Martin were nothing short of punishing. Martin was probably counting his blessings and maybe even a few imaginary lucky stars when the bell rang, saving him from further punishment.
Fair number of punches against Golovkin, but Golovkin is relentless in his pursuit, and that right hand, powerful punch. And we've had 2 knockdowns to the body and now 1 with a shot to the head against Martin Murray. And Murray was just worn down in that round. He had started out well, but the pressure of Golovkin ultimately got to him.
But the break was just a temporary stay of execution. When the 11th round began, Triple G was like a shark that smelled blood in the water. Martin was doing his best impersonation of a guy trying to outrun a tidal wave. Spoiler alert, it didn't work.
Then he lands something back. Let's see if that can happen here. Oh,
Huge punch there from Golovkin. Luis Pavon is having a look at Martin Murray as well. The referee has his eye on him, certainly. Those punches are starting to find a way through, and he's called it off. The referee calls a halt in the 11th. Gennady Golovkin will remain world champion.
Triple G is a patient and methodical fighter, and he really took his time and landed a solid right hand there. To say it was a tough night at the office for Martin would be an understatement. It looked like he'd been through a demolition derby, with his face bearing the evidence of Golovkin's handiwork. If you didn't know better, you'd think he'd been in a car crash.
a stoppage, I think, by the referee, and appropriate at that moment.
Yeah. But
And
just to emphasize again, nothing to be ashamed of. He has lost to a man who might just turn into one of the very best ever here, and he has given him a great fight.
He fought as well against Gennady Golovkin, actually better than anybody else has, because he landed a fair amount of punches throughout most of this fight. As we see Murray at the end getting nailed with those right hands.
Bo was typically known for his technical prowess in the ring, meticulously setting up his punches with precision. But every now and then he'd go off script and unleash lead overhead rights with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. No jabs, no setup, just a wild swing that could knock your socks off.
Waited there until Riddick.
That's exactly what happened with Terrell Biggs. Bo caught him with one of those overhand rights, and it was like the ring had suddenly turned into a trap door. When Bo lands a punch like that, it's pretty much game over. The only options left are to either hold on for dear life, like you're hugging a live grenade, or take a knee and hope Bo's wrath passes you by.
Shabalala can benefit once he gets a lot of confidence and mix it up.
Shabalala takes a hard right hand inside by Scott, and Shabalala's stunned, and now Scott is landing a series of right hands, and this is getting dangerous for Courage Shabalala, and that is justifiably a knockdown. And I don't think he's going to get up. He's not. That's it. Courage Shabalala has been knocked out by Brian Scott.
Ford suggested he will become just a footnote. Here you can see the beginning, the middle, and the end of the end, as Scott opened things up with a jab and finally landed something with muscle on it, and something more than muscle. So I guess that home cooking must have done him some good, George. Oh, but that's married life. There you go.
Knowing Brendan Ingles, a little habit of naming his fighters You're surprised that Nassim Hamed hasn't become Paddy Mulligan or somebody, but Prince Nassim Hamed he is. He comes from the Yemen.
He has tremendous upper body movement and great speed in his legs too. You know, obviously.
Got him locked up.
Norman has no idea what just happened, and honestly, neither do we.
Which one it was?
Let's have a look. Bang.
Oh, yeah. You're right, correct. And a bit of a shove there to help him on his way. Superb talent. He should use that the right way.
Here he goes.
Good
Oh, he's doing a job
hook.
on Norman now. This is good stuff. This is very impressive. And Norman is getting a fearful pasting in this round and down. That was a bewildering attack.
The referee made the right call to stop the fight, though you can only watch someone get bounced around like a pinball for so long. And once again, the Prince entertains the crowd with his post-fight antics. At this point, he's 2 fights in and already has more flair than a 90s boy band.
Mingle just calms him down a little bit. He has got a real prospect.
He was highly entertaining, and viewers knew they were in for a show every time he stepped into the ring.
We will be seeing more of Prince Nassim Hamed. I wonder if he is our new Pro Box discovery for 1992.
Tony Tucker went 12 rounds with a prime Mike Tyson, a feat that would make most fighters consider early retirement. Unfortunately, after that fight, he turned to drugs and was never quite the same. But let's not forget the serious talent this guy had. In this fight, he shows flashes of that brilliance.
LA. He didn't even know it was a 12-rounder, and there, Dixon goes down.
Now that is a legitimate knockout.
Yes.
You know, he keeps running in with reckless abandon, and he's walking into shots that he doesn't need. He could block some things, try and counter, but he's not.
He gets up on 8 with 1:10 to go in the round. And Tony Tucker looking to finish him off. Dixon continues to weather away, but Tucker comes right back to the body and to the head. A wild swing and a miss with the right hook by Dixon. Dixon out of gas. He's ready to go again. Second knockdown.
This may be more a question of running out of gas and getting hit because he exerted himself so much at the very beginning. And it is hot, folks. It is hot.
Over 120 degrees. 40 seconds left.
That's it.
This fight's over. This fight was over after the first knockdown. You could see his eyes. His legs weren't under him. It was all a matter of going through the motions.
Remind me to send him a case of beer, Tony Tucker, at the end of this for saving us from 12 rounds of the heat that we're suffering out here. Well, let's send him something good, Bob.
The first knockdown came from a beautifully timed counter left hook, textbook stuff.
And there's another one. Follow-up, double left hook.
For the second, you can really see his class, picking his punches with precision.
Another one. Swinging wildly. Tucker's just waiting on him now because he's kind of doing his own thing. And, you know, he winds up on the floor. I'm not even sure the referee called that a knockdown.
And for the third knockdown, Tucker did exactly what he should have. Poured on the pressure, uploaded those punches, and got the stoppage. Pure talent on display.
Tony Tucker's first win since December of 1994.
He has a lot of courage. Goes out, tries his best he can. In this kind of weather, I don't think this poor guy could have been another 3 or 4 rounds at most, even if they didn't have
I've seen much.
Now that travelled out right on the waistline, don't you think?
That was that nice short left uppercut to the body that I saw it again later on in that round. Right between the elbows, I think it came.
No, that's all right.
Under the elbow. That's a good
short
shot.
rib, isn't it? Oh, look at that. He made up his... Oh, I tell you what, he's a bit of an actor to go with it.
I don't think he wants
My
to.
friends, the soccer commentators, would enjoy this one. Yeah, he was never going to get up from that, and he'd rather hear the count out than get up and be stopped. Oh, there it comes. Whoops.
Yeah.
Perfectly good shot, that. He must dig hard with that. That's 2 on the turn now. Peter Coleshaw did it, and now Brian Carr.
That's a good win for Brian Carr coming in at short notice.
Yeah, it is. And he deserves it after the Patrick Mullins fight, Carr. There it is, bingo.
Yeah, no, he picked that shot well.
Didn't
he knew
Beautiful.
where he wanted that punch to land.
Former heavyweight king Primo Carnera looked huge in this fight. The jab was so hard it probably felt like getting hit by a wrecking ball.
The word quit through 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 grueling rounds. And here it is. Carnero launching a terrific left. Chef is down. He's in utter collapse. The mob howls for the kill. They've come for a Roman holiday, and they've not been cheated.
Ernie was reported to be sick before the fight, but put on a game performance. That jab was a heavy shot, and sadly, Ernie didn't recover from this knockout. Carnera was a powerhouse. If powerlifting was a sport and boxing, he'd be the champion.
Is lifted in the traditional symbol of victory. A game little guy makes his final exit from the world of Fistian.
Big boy. Oh, lovely.
Beautiful. Double to the head.
And AC just holding on right now, or covering up rather. The thing is, he has to learn.
Journeyman Mike AC made the mistake of overextending with his left hand and paid for it with a thunderous right hand to the head.
Reddick Bowe ranked number 10. Mercer ranked number 12. Oh, boy.
That was
Did well.
We'll have this fight over very soon. And just as I say that, he throws a straight
halfway out and then bing.
He's very sneaky, relaxed in there, isn't he, Spider?
Yes, he is.
Boy, a big left hook, and that hurt AC, and AC went down by a right to the body. AC, of course, if you look at him on the ground, he's not necessarily the strongest around his midsection, and Harry Davis giving him the mandatory aid, and he's up and he's ready to go. That's the second knockdown. And that's the end of the first.
That right hand Lennox hitting with the body, he just squealed. That hurt AC, it really hurt him.
Let's look in the corner of Mike AC right now.
Lennox Lewis, always the gentleman, decided not to stop there and gave AC a few more love taps while he was down. How Lewis wasn't disqualified for those blatant punches is still a mystery. Maybe the ref was looking at his shoes. AC, showing more bravery than brains, decided to fight on instead of taking the easy DQ win. But Lewis, ever the opportunist, started working AC's ribs like he was tenderizing meat. I checked my own ribs just to make sure they were okay after watching that.
And out. Matt was right in it, but he just took his eye off the game. A left hook caught him. Again, working to the body, hooks to the body and the head. And Matt was on the roll and finally down and out. So another successful defense then of the IBF light heavyweight title for the title holder, and still unbeaten Tavoris the Thunderclap.
Dmitry Pirog at his prime was undeniably one of the most elite middleweights of his era. In my opinion, he stood out as the best of his time, showcasing a level of skill and mastery that was hard to match. His fight against Melis was a prime example of his exceptional talent, where his slick upper body movement and footwork truly shone. Even though Pirog never faced Gennady Golovkin, it's clear that he would have posed a serious challenge for him.
Надо учитывать интерес зрительного зала. Ну вот по просьбе трудящихся.
That body shot was so perfectly timed that it could have been choreographed by a Broadway director.
Ну да, уже сил мало, и чтобы восстановить дыхание и прийти в форму, сейчас это тяжело сделать в 6-м раунде.
Программа «Культурная революция» и о спорте. Например, прыгун на лыжах уже не только за дальность полета, а за красоту полета. Представляете?
The knockout punch was less punch and more cannonball to the liver.
Должна учитываться. То же самое красивый бой.
Ну, ты знаете,
красивый
интеллигенты,
бой.
которые никогда не занимались спортом, конечно, могут поднимать культурную революцию, проблемы. Я вообще считаю, что большой подвиг, что человек на лыжах с этого трамплина прыгает и долетает до конечной точки. А сколько...
Pirog's ability to improvise in the ring was remarkable. Notice his head movement was almost unbelievable, demonstrating an uncanny ability to avoid punches with perfect balance and precision. Watching him, it is evident that he operated with a sense of timing and spatial awareness that seemed almost otherworldly, like he was channeling Neo from The Matrix. He seemed to see punches coming in slow motion, which allowed him to counter with striking effectiveness. Despite not having fought Golovkin, Pirog's abilities and in-ring acumen make a strong case for his place as one of the best middleweights of his era. Bruno's double jab was like a secret recipe, only that his included a right-hand chaser.
Ja, der Kampf wird ungleich. Macht noch mal weiter, aber...
It wasn't just a jab, it was a knockout artist in disguise.
Da war es mitgenommen. Weiter nochmal. Der erste Niederschlag, eine schwere rechte Hand oben hin. Jetzt kommt nochmal die rechte, was hinter diesem Frank Bruno steckt. Der wurde dann später, 1985, Europameister, also 3 Jahre später.
By the second round, it was less of a boxing match and more of a master class.
Ja, das war's dann.
Bruno's left to the body, followed by a sharp right hand, was like a 1-2 punch of sophistication and destruction.
And Gamely with the right uppercut that stuns Featherstone, knocks him under the ropes. That's it. And referee Smoker does the right thing, stops the fight.
He missed that punch. Listen to this crowd. That uppercut did it. Knocked Featherstone clear across the ring. What a right uppercut, Steve.
And what speed, because he missed with the jab and didn't give Featherstone time to even react after that.
Fighting a fast puncher like Virgil Hill, it's like dodging raindrops.
And there's no questioning his stamina. Oh, what a great right hand. Nobody's going to stand up to that. And when he needed it most, Jacobs found the punch that mattered, and that, I think, is going to be that. The bell is gone, the count continues, Duran has gone, and Jacobs is still the champion. A matter of a couple of seconds to go, and Jacobs really put it forward, right over the top of the left hand of Duran, and down went the Italian like a sack of spuds. Well, they'd just been brought together, and the seconds were ticking away, and Duran made that fatal mistake. He lowered, and he stepped in, he changed his tactics, and Jacobs punched, and he punished him. It was a cracking finish, really delivered with the shoulder all the way behind it, all 10.5 stone in there. What a finish by Jacobs.
And former heavyweight champion of the world, Ingemar Johansson. The heavyweight champion of the world, Floyd Patterson.
Patterson would go on to defend his title against Johansson in a rubber match. Johansson shocked everyone again by dropping Patterson with his vaunted right hand. But Patterson had gained experience in fighting while hurt and recovered quickly.
Less than a minute, Patterson is still wobbly. "30 seconds, round 2. Floyd Patterson is still the heavyweight champion of the world.
Patterson leapt inside, creating the angle for a sneaky short overhand right that Johansson couldn't see coming.
And it really stuns a man.
There's a mandatory 8 count here in Miami Beach. Unusual for a heavyweight.
Yes, that's the first time I've heard
now
it.
there, Johansson.
At this point, Sonny Liston was the most feared fighter in boxing. Patterson might have been buying into the hype himself.
Sonny Liston.
Well, Howie, as of now,
Sonny Liston is the #1 contender. I've always said that if there is another man out there that can really honestly beat me in a fair and square fight, as much as it hurts, I'd rather see him with the title than myself.
Again, Floyd, congratulations. You showed a marvelous fighting heart coming back the way you did. Your mother's in the ring and wants to see you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
They come out fighting. Sharkey confident of victory. Maloney equally confident and determined to outslug his hated rival. Sharkey crouching, lands 1, 2, 3 terrific blows to the head.
Jack Sharkey put Jimmy down with a nice overhand counter there. Sharkey was an inconsistent heavyweight, but this performance was like finding a unicorn in a haystack. The head movement and combination punching were impressive, like watching a boxer audition for a dance-off. And look at how hurt Jimmy was.
Get up, but he can't go on. Sharkey's like a kid, pushing his handlers away. He goes to help his fallen foe. Poor Jim Maloney, he never had a chance.
Sharkey would go on to become the heavyweight champ, though I thought he was fortunate to get that win. We'll cover the details in a future video. Spoiler alert, Sharkey's luck might be more Lucky Charms than fortunate.
Johnny Bredal er europamester, det er der ingen tvivl om. Han har rystet hud. Kigger over på Bredal. Bredal har allerede sin bror Jimmy i ringen, og her er det en kendsgerning. Johnny Bredal, den 12. danske europamester, med en outsider i 7. omgang over Johnny Hood fra Skotland.
Næsten kang heroppe i ringen. Det er jo herlige scener.
Og her ser vi, hvordan det mesterskab blev Johnny Bredal. 2 gange inden højre hånden.
Chavez put a beat down on Jorge Melian. Notice how Chavez set up his right hand to land those damaging left hooks. Watching Chavez in the ring was like watching a high-stakes game of chess, but with more punches and fewer pawns. His seamless transition between defense and offense was like watching a perfectly choreographed dance. He didn't just hunt his opponents down, he practically stalked them like a seasoned predator, showcasing skills you wouldn't expect from a textbook pressure fighter. The head movement from Chavez, poetry in motion.
Argentino en la corta distancia, cuidado. 2 veces el campeón viene con una derecha que está en el fighting. Sale Melian, lo va buscando, persiguiendo Chávez, no le da respiro. La izquierda liga de otra vez, la derecha abajo. Y esa es la mano tremenda. Esa es la mano que evidentemente causa un gran daño, que no permite mover las piernas. No puede más. Es el final de la pelea.
Chavez is a left hook specialist, but in this fight, it was the right hook to the body that did the real damage.
Clara, seca, veloz.
Step back, let him go. They better get out 2 end swells after this round.
Buttman Joe Souza with a big job coming up. Gotti goes down on a short left.
Arturo Gatti was the kind of fighter who often had a leaky defense. He came forward there with wide body shots and left himself wide open for a counter combination.
On the verge of superstardom, Arturo Gatti is in serious trouble in round 2 against slick European veteran Wilson Rodriguez. Gatti trying to come back with both hands, taking a lot of punishment in return.
Let him go, step back. Here's the knockdown, a right hand followed by a left as Gatti tried to go to the body. And you heard the cut man Joe Souza saying, you got no time, son, you got to do it.
But Gatti wasn't just any fighter. He was a warrior with the survival instincts of a honey badger. When he got hurt, something clicked in his brain that said, forget defense, let's go berserk. By the 6th round, Gatti's body shots were landing with the kind of force usually reserved for demolition equipment. And then, like a chef pulling out a signature dish, Gatti unleashed his famous left hook.
Down goes Rodriguez. What a left hook. He won't make it up from that. No way. Arturo Gatti. How about that? Comeback win. You'll never see better drama for a young prospect on his way to superstardom.
People will never forget this fight. It'll be showed over and over and over again. That is a remarkable achievement by
by this young junior lightweight champion.
There is my new nominee for Fight of the Year.
Well, Roy, we got another edition of Boxing After Dark coming up next month.
Gotti stood victorious, proving once again that when you hurt him, you only make him more dangerous. A bit like a video game character with a glitch that makes him almost invincible when his health is low. Arturo Gatti wasn't just a tremendous warrior, he was a living, breathing action movie, always ready to turn the tide of battle with one devastating blow. His fights weren't just boxing matches, they were thrillers with unexpected plot twists and a hero who refused to stay down.
Excellent teamwork by Team Gotti.
Let's hope he takes a little time off before the next fight. Give those eyes a chance to heal. And while we're crediting Joe Souza, the cut man, let's also say good job by the New York State Athletic Commission doctor who let the fight go on rather than to stop it and deny Arturo Gatti his chance to come back.
Letting a champion be a champion. Sendte benene væk under Kuka. Der i krise. Benene zigzagger. Johnny straffer ham. Har ham i ringerne. Kuka bliver ramt og ramt. Helt fornuftigt. Og kampen er dag. Tavis kaster sig ind. Afbryder kampen. Johnny Bredal. Verdensmester for tredje gang. Rituelle scenerier overstået oppe i ringen. Mens vi her nyder billederne, der
Franco Thomas came out and landed some good left hooks on Michael Dokes in round 5 of their fight.
But he is making the fight in that he's coming toward him. He's the aggressor. He just landed 2 good hooks, 3, 4. And the crowd has turned. They are rooting for Thomas. They did not.
Dokes decided to channel his inner Larry Holmes in response with some nice jabs.
The jab. And he put his hand right up there. He didn't like to get hit there. Oh, left hook by Dokes, and Thomas is down.
Dokes then flashed his lightning-fast left hook counter on Thomas, and Thomas was down.
All right. Dokes anxious to spring out of the corner. Here he comes. And the combination by Dokes looking to end it here in round 5.
If you've watched some of our previous knockout videos, you know that Dokes has some extremely fast hands for a heavyweight. Like all good fighters, Dokes went downstairs on his hurt opponent.
For Thomas to survive unless he's got an awful lot of iron in his legs. Oh, the right hand by Dokes. Thomas on his feet, looking very shaky. Dokes tired. Dokes also tired. Thomas is down. And it's all over, says Zach Clayton. It is all over. Franco Thomas put down for the second time in this 5th round off the onslaught. Michael Dokes showing us dynamite, although he did not, as we mentioned on several occasions, did not look to be in the best of physical condition. So Michael Dokes.
I just think that Dokes had the kind of hand speed that just made it very difficult for opponents to survive against him when hurt.
Sending Thomas to the canvas.